Welcome to our channel. Today, we delve into an inspiring story from Anecdotes of Pious Men by Murtada Mutahari. This story highlights the bravery and courage of Nasiba in the Battle of Uhud. The deep scar on the shoulder of Nasiba, daughter of Ka'b, spoke of a major wound in the past. Whenever the women, especially of the younger generation who had not seen the time of the Prophet or were too small at that time, noticed the cavity in her shoulder, they inquired with extreme curiosity about the frightening incident which had resulted in the injury to her shoulder. They loved to hear her adventures in the Battle of Uhud from her own mouth. She had never imagined that she would fight shoulder to shoulder with her husband and two sons defending the Prophet in the Battle of Uhud. She had only taken the water skin on her back so that she could provide water to the injured and had also taken some homemade bandages to dress their wounds. She had not thought of herself as worthy of any other work on that day. Although the Muslims were small in number and had only a limited supply of equipment, they gave a grand defeat to the enemy who took to their heels, vacating the battlefield. But soon after, due to the negligence of some men guarding the Ain hills, the enemy made a surprise attack from the rear, turning the victory of the Muslims into defeat. The Muslims surrounding the Prophet fled, leaving him almost alone in the battlefield. When Nasiba saw this precarious situation, she put the water skin on the ground and took a sword in her hand. She fought with the sword and also made good use of bows and arrows, and took a shield left over by a fleeing soldier. Once she noticed a man shouting, "Where is Muhammad himself?" She approached him immediately and inflicted a few blows on him, but he was double-armored and her attacks had not much effect on him. He then inflicted such a heavy blow on the shoulder of the armorless woman that it required treatment for 1 year. Noticing a stream of blood gushing from her shoulder, the Prophet called to one of her sons to immediately dress her wound. He put a bandage over her shoulder and she again got busy in the battle. Meanwhile, one of her sons got injured. She took out a bandage and dressed his wound. The Prophet, watching the scene, smiled at the heroism of this woman. After dressing her son's wound, she instructed him to get going for the battle. These words were still in her mouth when the Prophet pointed out a man to her and told her that he was the same man who had injured her son. She attacked the man like a lioness and inflicted her sword on his leg. He fell on the ground. The Prophet said, "Well, thou hast taken thy revenge. Thanks be to God who gave the victory over him and made thy eyes cool." Many Muslims were martyred and wounded. She herself was severely wounded, and there was no hope for her life. After the Battle of Uhud, the Prophet ordered the wounded Muslims to pursue the enemy up to Hamr al-Assad to be sure of their intention and condition. Nasiba also wanted to accompany them, but the deep injuries did not allow her to do so. On returning from Hamr al-Assad, the Prophet, before reaching his house, sent someone to inquire about her health and was pleased to learn that she was alive. These stories from Anecdotes of Pious Men remind us of the timeless values of courage, determination, and sacrifice. We hope you found this tale inspiring. Thank you for watching.